we feel about Chase UP?
I was going to ask you that because I was really getting into them.
How do we feel about Chase UP?
I was going to ask you that because I was really getting into them at one point. And then, I don't know, it just felt like they kind of lost some of their steam a little bit. But I've been slowly getting back on Chase U. Team Chase U.
So, here's the thing. I felt like the Chase U with him funneling money did what it was supposed to do. Because the whole storyline was you're supposed to lose morale because Chase U was built on honesty and Chase U ass whoopings. And when this whole thing kind of started falling well together, a lot of people weren't understanding the story. But then, you know, them trying to save the school and him trying to roll dice with Out the Mud was a great introduction to Out the Mud and putting the family back on the map because that's what it was essentially supposed to do. I think that they did a great job using Chase U to do that. But again, a lot of people were very excited about Chase U. And then it was already tied into a storyline with Thea, who's like their pocket rocket, literally trying to become a
pocket rocket. Baddie. I love that.
And she was trying to become a member of the Bad Girls Club. Like, girl, no, what are you doing? Like, you like you the baby. You supposed to have this never give up attitude. But I think that's what happens. And now a lot of people are starting to get it because now they got a new member, which is Riley. And then on top of that, the whole JC kind of saving with them calendars. Yo, them calendars sold out 3 times. I don't know how. I was trying to do a giveaway. They were like, she put it back, it's back on stock. Couldn't get one back on stock.
That's shocking.
So y'all ain't getting no free calendars out of me yet until they do another calendar. I don't know. I'm sorry. How do we feel about Chase UP?
I was going to ask you that because I was really getting into them at one point. And then, I don't know, it just felt like they kind of lost some of their steam a little bit. But I've been slowly getting back on Chase U. Team Chase U.
So, here's the thing. I felt like the Chase U with him funneling money did what it was supposed to do. Because the whole storyline was you're supposed to lose morale because Chase U was built on honesty and Chase U ass whoopings. And when this whole thing kind of started falling well together, a lot of people weren't understanding the story. But then, you know, them trying to save the school and him trying to roll dice with Out the Mud was a great introduction to Out the Mud and putting the family back on the map because that's what it was essentially supposed to do. I think that they did a great job using Chase U to do that. But again, a lot of people were very excited about Chase U. And then it was already tied into a storyline with Thea, who's like their pocket rocket, literally trying to become a
pocket rocket. I love that.
And she was trying to become a member of the Bad Girls Club. Like, girl, no, what are you doing? Like, you like you the baby. You supposed to have this never give up attitude. But I think that's what happens. And now a lot of people are starting to get it because now they got a new member, which is Riley. And then on top of that, the whole JC kind of saving with them calendars. Yo, them calendars sold out 3 times. I don't know how. I was trying to do a giveaway. They were like, she put it back, it's back on stock. Couldn't get one back on stock.
That's shocking.
So y'all ain't getting no free calendars out of me yet until they do another calendar. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Whoa. It's already Tuesday? I don't know. Don't feel like a Tuesday. It feels like I've been out for a minute, but it's literally next Tuesday. I don't know. I got to get my equilibrium back up. I think like everybody else, daylight savings has really messed me up. So here's a funny story. I've been trying to get back. First of all, I'm so rude. What's going on, everybody? Per usual, it is your honorary wrestling girl, Seindole B, and we are back in his house. Yes, we are back in the Watch What Happens NXT Clubhouse. Not stealing from Andy. Andy, don't sue me. But we back in here. We live. We here. We outside, like my boy Justin would say. We just here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me late. My bad. A lot of things happened. Life was lifing. But nonetheless, I am here to provide you with the perfect pre-show for NXT tonight. We are recovering from one that happened last week. We're still recovering from RoadBlock. A lot of you are getting ready for WrestleMania season. I hope you started getting your outfits and your bags and making sure you're drinking a lot of tea because you will be doing a lot of yelling. Learn from me. I was done by Saturday, okay? And it was only literally Saturday. Everything had happened. I had no voice going home. So I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure you drink your tea. Drink your tea, please. Hot fluids, y'all. Get ready. I want to welcome everybody on this first day of spring. I want to get into real quickly all the things we have lined up. TWG, thank you per usual to the queens, Queen PR, Miss Krista B for always letting me slide up in their channel and to give into the tune from there. And if you're watching me from my private channels on Twitch, on X, soon to be Kick, let's try and figure that out, Kick. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the madness. There's a lot of madness that goes on. I see the chat. For all of you who are waiting for me again, I have to apologize. I am so sorry. Brian, I'm sorry. I know he's busy being Hollywood, trying to rock new products and whatnot. But, he takes the time out for his sister to come see his sister in the chat, check on me. And Brian, I appreciate you so much. For Karsha, what's going on, baby girl? Thank you for coming in. Dylan, I made Dylan wait. I'm so rude. I punish myself. I will drink water all day. And it's Wednesday over there. I feel so bad. Dylan, I apologize for making you wait, baby, but welcome to the chat. If you're on X, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it's business per usual. As you already know, TWG is dropping new heats. Big shout out to Queen PR for dropping one of the best, and I mean the best, and I mean the most accurate ultimate guides to WrestleMania there it could be on Words with PR. I've known P for, if you guys have ever heard our story, I've known her for a long time. She's a woman of words, and now she's just displaying to be a woman of knowledge. She's giving you all the tips to where to eat, sleep, what merch to have, what outfit styles to buy, what kind of deodorant you should probably, I promise I will behave for Lent. I'm not going to comment on deodorant. Deodorant is in the box. I'm sorry. Brian H. Water, shout out to you for putting in the chat for anybody who wants to tune into that. But yeah, shout out to Queen PR, just doing a thing. Both girls just doing a damn thing. Like, they are ready for WrestleMania. If you want to look at somebody to look at for WrestleMania, you look at them. You don't look anywhere else. But if you do look somewhere else, also shout out real quick to Wrestling Wind Down podcast, because those girls over there, same thing, they've been putting on lookbooks. They've been giving you little guys also to the Philly area. I believe they also have Philly natives in there that know the area. Everybody's just trying to help each other out, because that's all we could do. Like, WrestleMania is a really busy weekend in a really busy city as it is. It's the home of the Liberty Bells, where the Constitution was built, but it's a lot that goes on in that city. I, for one, love Philadelphia, so I can't wait to just rum shot safely, of course, in that neighborhood and just handle the business. If you're not watching tonight, you're going to be watching a recap of this on my personal YouTube channel this Friday. And after you do that, you should watch Schooling Sessions with Chris B, Pablo the Don, and Chris Contreras at 4:00 on Twitch. And if you missed that, you should also make sure you turn your bell notifications on to those wrestling girls and make sure you are watching any new interviews they may have. I know it's WrestleMania season. They're gearing up to kind of do more episodes, more interviews. You never know. The past few interviews they've had been phenomenal. Why would you want to miss out on that? Don't miss out on that. And then, of course, when I'm not here tonight, tomorrow night, I will be back with the crew, the other club, the biggest club since Marquee to be out, and that's the TWG fan club with Queen PR, Brian H. Waters, and it's Justin Rich, the three best friends that anybody can have. And we do it every Wednesday. We will be dropping the topic very, 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 very soon. But other than that, I'm just gonna jump into the person that has donned their presence on me. The other Don that I know. I know this person on social media as somebody who is a music connoisseur. It's funny because I'm gonna tell this person how I discovered them on social media before they even knew me. I can't wait to get into that real quick. But when they are not talking about music and everything that you should know about the industry, they're also here with us, hanging out with us, talking wrestling, or just defending CM Punk whenever we have the opportunity to. So without further ado, I'm going to bring this person on. The other Don that I know. Pablo, what is going on?
What up?
What up?
CM Punk truthers right now. We're the CM Punk club.
We missing our clothes, man.
I know. I'm missing my shirt today. I'm like, what shirt I got on? It's not CM Punk today, but it's close enough. It's NASCAR. I got NASCAR.
Oh, you know what? I've been trying to get into other sports. I feel like after WrestleMania, I took like that quick break before what's it called? Before Backlash or anything like that. And I need to get into another sport. So I learned football last year. Finally. I learned lines, I learned penalties, I learned all that. So I need to get into something. I think NASCAR might be it. It's just long.
It's long and it's boring as hell if you don't like just watching cars go in circles. So I grew up watching it, so I still watch it.
Nice.
I never let it go. I've also like started to adapt Formula One, which is a little bit more exciting. So like, and there's a TV show that goes with Formula One that helps people get invested in Formula One. So like, it's way easier to get into Formula One than NASCAR at this point.
We gotta, I feel like we need to discuss because you had me until you were like Formula One. And I always see people talk about Formula One and they're just so dived into it. I know they just recently did Formula One in Vegas and it had all that crap go on. So after that, I was just like, why would they do it in Vegas when I see they're doing it in like the most beautiful foreign countries? I know they're talking about bringing it to Dubai at one point. So I'm like, why would they pick Vegas of all people? Like Vegas is just not it. Like Vegas is where I go to make sure my mom can pay the slots fair and square. I can't associate it with like Formula One. So
they did it because like it's almost like on some GTA Grand Theft Auto drive through the city type stuff. Like that's really what it was about. Like, let's drive through the city, drive through the strip, like on some like hood rat shit almost. That's really why they did that. Not because like they're like, this will look cool on a promo. Like, yeah, that's why they did that on Formula One.
Like it would look cool for a low car to skip the potholes that they didn't repair in the downtown strip. Go ahead, GTA all through that because
wherever y'all are at, that y'all were able to do that. More power to y'all, because anywhere else in the country, pothole, whole car gone.
Peace to the chat. We are going to be giving, don't forget, I'm going to be dropping a little surprise at the end of this video that is strictly on me. Nobody else knows. My boss is probably going to be like, what the hell are you doing when I'm done with this? But I'm not even going to bring it up on a broadcast. What I need everybody to start doing is following on Instagram, Watch What Happens NXT. It's literally that. Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. If you're not following it, then you need to follow it now because I will be dropping a special surprise on that Instagram. And Pablo might know what I'm talking about.
Let me go get my money up.
It's not even a raffle. You don't have to you don't have to buy nothing. It's just something I feel like I need to do in the spirit of WrestleMania because everybody's gonna like. Pete, did you read Patricia's guide?
Absolutely.
Like she's dropping something, shout out to Krista. She dropped something today on I'm gonna have so much trouble saying this because we
unapologetically eclectic.
Thank you. Just dropped her blog on there. She's doing it like Mr. Brian H. Waters. He's Brian H. Waters. He's doing everything. Everybody's just busy. Like shout out to our boy Justin who just wrapped up at 5K.
5K, big time.
Shout out to him because
and then hit the gym 2 days after.
Like, 2 days after.
Come on. I could never. I would never.
Right now, he's hanging out with shout out to the Fan Black Wrestling Podcast. They are also doing Turnbuckle Talk. So if you are on my channel and you don't have them playing in the background while I'm on mute for a little bit, I can understand. Just keep us both on at the same time if you don't mind, please and thank you. And everybody's showing you mad love, Pablo.
Crazy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
You even got the
because we were talking about my boy tonight.
Yeah,
my boy tonight.
There's so much. Oh, I gotta get into rugby too. I have a funny story. I have a cousin that plays rugby
professionally.
Yes, he's going overseas this summer. He's been playing for DC. Rugby. He's been playing since he was in high school. He's been playing in DC for a long time. He's been training for it, and he just got recruited to start playing overseas. So, shout out to him. Bala, I'm rooting for you.
I gotta get into rugby. It seems like fun. It also very like wrestling, homoerotic. So I want to see the men touching.
So I'm glad you here, homie, because look at this.
Do you think CM Punk's announcement on Raw next week will be that he's cleared early in time for WrestleMania? And I say this like so lovingly, like, no, hell no. Just sit this one out. Just sit this one out,
because,
Phil. Just chill.
Like, just keep your robotic arm in a nice suit at the commentary table and just ruin Drew's life. That's all I want you to do. Don't do nothing else. And then, sign my custom. So I ordered an acrylic box for Punk because he's out the box, and I'm gonna get that box signed because I am going to WWE World just to see Punk. I don't care about anything else. I don't stand for anything else. I'm literally just going for that. Like I don't have a purpose, any reason else to go to that but that. So like I just need him to do that. Like sign my shit. Like I don't need you to get no match. I don't need you to be cleared early. I don't need you. Don't be Charlotte. Just be present.
Just chill, bro. I don't know if you've been taking the same stem cells, but just chill. Even if you want to be like hey, listen now, if his arm can move, if he is special guest referee, I won't be bad though. Because he hates both of them equally. They both have trashed that man. So if he is a special guest referee, I will not be upset by that. But other than that, stay away. Just stay away.
Just stay away. Shout out to the Hardy Wrestling Podcast doing a great job. Love them doing a lot for Women's History Month. Period. Still going on, still going strong. Shout out to dang, so much love. I love the love. Gersh in the building. Previous guest of Watch What Happens NXT. Pablo, I think we should get right into NXT.
No, for sure.
For sure. Because a lot happened, and you already know how I do. I don't know if you know the new format. Thank you. I'm glad you found us in our alerts. I hope you come back. Keep them alerts on. Keep them on. Yes. And Pablo, if you want to go in a little bit about yourself, feel free while I get the paperwork going on backstage.
Yeah, I'm Pablo. I go by they, them. Those are my pronouns. I like wrestling. If you make a mistake, it's okay. I swear I won't curse you out or nothing. It's not a big deal. Everyone makes mistakes. That's all. But yeah, that's it. Am I a Mafia Don now? I've been considering taking it up. I will say Tony D'Angelo is convincing me because The Sopranos is my favorite show of all time. So like,
yo, dude, I'm on the season where they did Adriana in. Oh, they found out she was ratting. So we talk about it after. We're saving it for Thirsty Thursdays. So by the time the Thirsty Thursdays hits, we'll be able to dive into it a little bit more. I'm gonna give my whole thought on The Sopranos because it's not what I thought it was gonna be, but it is so much more.
It's so good. It's like cutting edge TV even now. Like it was the first show that made me be like, I hate you, but I don't. Like it was the first show that made me look at the main character and be like, you're so bad, but I see so much good. Can you just do better for yourself? Like that's Tony.
P, we were just speaking your great name. I'm glad
we were just talking about you.
And we were
in Guide to WrestleMania that hopefully I will be following in a couple of weeks.
Oh, so she's also saying that she wants people to be able to see you.
I want them to no. Listen. They now know that I'm real. Everyone knows I'm real now. Well, Krista and P know that I'm real now. Everybody else got to find that out.
It's funny because I'll know you're real too because we will both be at Stand and Deliverr. The whole crew be at Stand and Deliverr.
That is true. I still
have
the workout plans. I ain't even gonna lie. I still got so much. I'm such a last minute ass bitch. That's how I know I'm the worst.
Didn't you read the guide?
Everyone's in the chat. Where y'all staying? Me being like, damn, I should probably get on that.
Listen, somebody's couch be open. You know what I mean?
Damn, I should get on that. All right, let me look. What shows am I going to again?
Jersey's right across the bridge. All we gotta do is cross Ben Franklin.
That is gonna be the plan. Is just go stay over in Cherry Hill somewhere, and then take that 20-minute Uber. 20-minute Uber over the bridge and just chill out.
So you just said you were the Don, and everybody says you got connections. So you guys, come on.
I don't know what connections. Yeah. Y'all connect the dots for me and get me somewhere to stay. Connect the dots for me, y'all.
Shout out to Steph who be a Stand and Deliverr. Hey, Scarf. Shout out to Scarf in the chat. Krista B's in the chat.
I'm real.
So the party's on. Everybody who's supposed to be here. Let's get it started. As per usual, you already know I'm standing on business. So now we're going to get into some backstage business, y'all. Real quick, we're going to slide into some backstage business. A lot happened backstage because I see like it wasn't a lot of matches, but I do see it was a lot of connecting the dots and building for Stand and Deliverr. So just to jump into it real quick, we have a match that we're going to talk about later on because it was one of my favorite matches of the night. But we also had some backstage business involved with the tag team qualifiers for the NXT Tag Team Championships will fully be defended at Stand and Deliverr. You had probably the most interesting pairings of all that is going to happen. You had the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows back at NXT, won some gold. They see everybody else doing it, so of course you already know they had to jump into the fray. They basically put themselves into the qualifier like they said they were going to do during the last confrontation. And then you had a new pair who if you watch NXT Level Up, like I've been telling the people to do when they're bored and they're cruciating at home, because it comes on Saturday. It comes on Friday after SmackDown, Saturday morning. You should be watching it. They're my new pairing, Hank and Tank. They're backstage and they're being teased by the Good Brothers, saying that they think they're energetic. But dude, you know how I feel about energetic people. So they were like, we're amped, we're ready to go. We've been sitting in the sidelines. We're a real tag team. We're about to show the Good Brothers what we got. And Braun and Baron find it so entertaining, these two, that they were amping them up. They're like, you say you're amped, but we don't believe you're amped. So of course you see that picture over there all the way on the left-hand side. They just shoved each other. Like they were about to like go on the football field and wreak havoc. So what do we think of the tag team division right now?
Okay, I have a question. Do Hank and Tank not remind you of Heavy Machinery? Oh, look at that.
See, this is why
Machinery.
This is why we bring the qualified people onto the show. Yes, they do.
Tucky and Otis over again. Just change the font and shave half the head. But I do need the Hank and Tank shirt though, because like using the AC/DC kind of insignia, like I kind of need that a little bit. I like that,
dude.
But it's
you have no idea how much I was like. I have not been excited about a tag team like that since Heavy Machinery.
No, I'm excited. I'm like, which one of y'all are doing the worm or some iteration of some old ass move that don't do shit, but like we gonna pop for it anyway. Who does what? Not gonna lie, I saw this and it made me go back and watch Level Up to see it, like what their kind of like wrestling style was. And I was like, oh, I really like this. I'm excited. I mean, they just seem like fun. It's very much giving Tucker and Otis, but like they seem like fun. I'm hoping, I know people are going to be annoyed by this, but I don't like Braun and Baron at all. I don't.
You're not a fan of the Wood Dogs? Dang, homie.
Like, take the two dumbest people you know and put them in a tag team. But like, I support. Maybe Baron Corbin will convince Braun Breaker to tone down some of that Tanner, which I see he has.
Full disclaimer, this is us all the time. Me and Pablo are the come for people of the group, and then Krista kind of just like initials it. I feel like that's what makes this group whole, because we all like to come for people. I'd be like, yo, because remember when I said it was me and Justin that literally started the whole tan breaker, and I was like Brown. I was saying he was giving vanilla, but listen, Ron Soretto. I know Justin be like, I'm family. It's for the family. And so.
And then I ruined it saying he uses his finger to read.
Listen. He did very good on the bump. I'll give him that.
He did.
Because before, he was struggling. Listen.
But tell me this. Did it not take him forever to sign that contract with SmackDown because he couldn't read that contract?
Listen.
It took him 3 weeks to decide to sign to SmackDown.
The fine print is so... The fine print small. What you want him to do?
It's okay.
Look.
It's okay. When you eat people like he do for breakfast, fine. You don't need to learn how to read. We could pay somebody for that. It's not Cora Jade, but we'll pay somebody for that.
we're gonna have not no more, child. But and moving on from that. But I just think that I always say this, I am a full advocate of calling him boring. Like, I thought he was boring when he first came. Like, if you think of 2.0 Day first episode, he came in fresh face with his dad's unitard on, and he was literally like just jumping up and down like his daddy. And I'm just like, oh God, like how many people do we have like this? We already had Chad Gable. We don't need a beefy Chad Gable. But then he starts
exactly it.
Like, he starts doing these flips and he starts getting better. And I'm like, listen, everybody's first dance to the rodeo ain't gonna be that great. You're gonna have to go through all the motions. He went through the motions with Ciampa. I think him and Ciampa are very good dance partners, no pun intended. He had that. He got his NXT championship from that. He was challenged with Dolph Ziggler. He went toe-to-toe with Dolph Ziggler, which I thought was perfect for him. And then everything else has kind of been a culmination of I'm one of the best. I'm your future, and I'm going to show you why. His match with Carmelo, his match with Tony, his match with even his match with Braun Breaker, which is why they're tag team champions today. I just think that, you know, grace and time really took the mold when it came to Braun.
Really did.
I'm happy for him, but I have to admit, and Josh, if he's still in the chat, knows. Listen, I like the Wolf Dogs. If it made him funny. It made him funny, and it made him funny.
I think
like
him turning heel was the best thing that could have happened. I pray they don't turn him face anytime soon. Like, let him be this dumb, idiotic kind of heel paired with Baron Corbin. Like, let them be that. Let that happen. Let him overtend himself, because otherwise I wasn't even talking about the man. I'm not gonna lie. The man was hitting the ropes crazy, knocking himself out, but that's all I was saying.
Dude, he was... Yeah. That's not even the word. It was crazy. And you know what struck me? I'm like, the camera couldn't keep up with him.
No, for real. Like, the cameraman.
That's what's crazy.
So that man, I don't know what his 40-yard dash is, but I just know it's
Listen, and then you know what struck me? I remembered now. Like, just going back to the clip real quick, I forgot him and Corbin, both former NFL, both left NFL. Both now in NXT, both went to NXT, both in WWE, and now they're together. That's
both about to be
crazy. Child, ain't enough espresso from Paper Planes Coffee, child.
Both held on to something they don't got no more.
Listen, what is he? 20? He's 20. Shout out to the War Dogs. 28 and 30 something. They ain't a bad pair. Exactly. I'm excited.
I won't lie, I'm excited to see the Good Brothers doing something other than asking AJ Styles why they left them in catering, why he left them in catering.
Yeah, like,
hopefully they do that with Michin next.
Because Michin's still hanging on to something, child. I don't know what she's hanging on to. Like, you've been in enough stables, girl, for you to realize this ain't it. Just leave. Just walk out.
No, but I'm happy the Good Brothers are doing something. They're such a good, solid tag team that can, like, at this point, I mean, just Luke Gallows going from Festus to this. Night and day. I'll take day of the week.
Carl Anderson. Don't talk about Festus.
Carl Anderson is the real Heath Slater. He really got kids he got to provide for. So I'm glad he's here too. I'm just happy they're being used. They're getting a check. And I'm excited to see them versus Hank and Take. I just feel like, is this going to be other than Carl Anderson, this is shaping up to be like a very meaty match, like a meaty tag match.
Like, big men slap meat.
Yeah, it's like giving the tag version. All we needed was the Creed brothers in that.
Yes.
But they're gone now. But yeah, that's giving the tag version of it.
We already know how the universe feels about meaty men slapping meat. So exactly, give the people what they want, what they really want.
Invitational. We're waiting for them to split.
We're still waiting for it. Give the people what they want, y'all. Come on, Trips.
Biggie Invitational.
Speaking of invitationals, we have, No Quarter Catch Crew. Another one of my recent interests. They've piqued my interest now because now they have the Heritage Cup in place and they're just running around backstage seeing who they can agitate, because I don't even feel like they have to challenge anybody. Like, they're not like Obafemi, who's literally like, listen, send anybody you want, but don't send them back. Don't send anybody you want back. Like, they're not like him. They like, listen, we're going to scowl and just wipe people off ourselves. And they found themselves in the cusp of Riley Osborne, who was back there watching Theodore thing. And they were basically trying to throw chops. And I give Riley Osborne so much credit because for two things. One, he was like I'm not a booger. Y'all not gonna pick me, okay? Like, you're not gonna pick me out of my nose. You're not gonna pick me out of the eye. Nothing. You're not gonna pick on me. And he basically, the way he came for Charlie Dempsey and broke the fourth wall, genius. That has to be somebody back there writing that's just so creative, who's been hanging out in Florida way too long, punk. Coming for him and saying like, listen, he was like, listen, you guys have the Heritage Cup, but remember what your father said, don't mess up the lineage of where it came from. And I'm from there because, you know, he's also from England, and it like basically came for Charlie Dempsey. And he was like, listen, I'm not going to hear all from you, especially when you were born in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. I was like,
who wrote that? I'm like, whoever wrote that drag for real.
Cleared. They cleared. I
have a question though.
Uh-huh.
Do you like him better as Axiom or A-Kid?
So,
honesty hour.
I miss A-Kid so much. I'm sorry. The minute he said that, he was like, I still have connections with the guy who was the first to hold it. I was like, why you do that?
Where do you think he went?
I was like, why you do that?
Like,
I was like,
Jesus.
But that was smart. That was smart because even at that, people are looking up now, because I know people that had to Google that, and they Googling it and they're realizing that is so smart. That was one of the best. That was a good segment to me. That was one of the best segments back there because of just it being off of dialogue and not dragging the way that most NXT backstage segments have dragged lately. It didn't drag. It was some shots here and there. It brewed something new because now we have tonight. Riley Osborne is going up for the Heritage Cup. We just don't know who he's going to be. Of course, a part of the no quarter cash clause. It could be any four of them. Doesn't even have to be Charlie Dempsey, who won it in the first place. And then on top of that, you now have Axiom, who and Nathan Frazier, the new high flying tag team duo, who also said they're going for the tag team NXT Tag Team Championships, and they're going to also fight two people we don't know from the quarter cash group. So it's just everybody. It's just everybody working. Everybody making sure they clocked in.
I think it's genius for them to like recontextualize the Freebird rule and make it like current. Because I feel like when people say the Freebird rule now, if you're like younger watching, you're like, what the is the Freebird rule? But now it being the no quarter catch clause, and everyone's like, oh, it means anybody from the stable can defend. Like being able to recontextualize it and make it current for this generation, because not everybody knows who the Freebirds are.
Right.
I think Drew Gulak. I don't think people understand the mastermind that Drew Gulak is, but I'm gonna let it be what it is.
If you sit and look at Drew Gulak from the beginning, his first run, and then him going to main roster and being against Daniel Bryan, he's always had this strategic plan. Like with Daniel Bryan, that whole feud was that everybody thought that Daniel Bryan wasn't the old Daniel, just like, you know, everybody thinks the new Kanye, they missed the old Kanye. So when Drew Gulak came in, it was like not only did people see a little bit of themselves in him, but he was kind of testing the waters. He was like, listen, Daniel, it's okay if you want to fall second to me. Because I'm you. He was like, but if you want to prove that you're not second to me, step in the ring, and it worked. So Drew Gulak is the brains of the operation.
Yes, he like the way he's taking like the skills he clearly has and he had on the independents and like being able to apply it and help younger talent that like might have been fresh out of water at first. Because like until Drew and until his dad came back, I feel like Charlie Dempsey was kind of just like there.
Right.
For a minute. Like he was he's Charlie Dempsey. I'm glad they didn't name him Regal or anything, but he was not like this guy. And I feel like Drew Gulak has helped all three of them just kind of like big it up a little bit more. I think that they all have benefited from the Drew Gulak. I call it the Drew Gulak effect, because even that last feud with Daniel Bryan, that's one of his best feuds. Like I truly put him and Miz, Daniel and Miz, then him winning the championship, and then him versus Drew. Like those are his three best feuds in WWE to me.
What are our thoughts on the other members of No Quarter Catch crew?
I mean, I think Brooks Jensen is going to have some potential. I think they have potential. All of them have potential. It's just who's going to break out from this group is my thing. That's always
you know what's crazy? I already see potential in Charlie Dempsey. I'm waiting to see what they do with Miles Bourne because he's really good. But his win-loss record sucks, and then they send him back to level up, and then it just gets better. And then they put him in like the NXT breakout tournament. He didn't even make it to like the semifinals, which was weird to me because his win-loss before that was high because of level up. So I didn't get that. So I think it's interesting how they do with him. Brian Kemp, he still has to convince me. I feel like he lost his momentum, and that they gave him this after his entire feud with the Creed brothers. I feel like he lost the momentum after that, but this is his way to redeem himself. So I still need to see more from him because I know he's good based off that feud. I need to see a little bit more. Shout out to the chat real quick. Lone. That's the homie right there. And I can see my ex comments finally. So shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in with us. I don't know. They're not announcing this tournament yet. We don't know. I think they're also qualifying for the one that the matches on SmackDown. We just don't know yet because it's just been vignettes, but I think they're also qualifying for the one on SmackDown.
They should rename it the New Day rule because I do agree. It should be the New Day rule. Like I'm with them just renaming it period for current times. I wish they would have done it with New Day because that would have made the most sense. But like I do like that. I just like that it has a new name. I just love that it has a new name.
I think it's cool that I don't know, the New Day was the best there was to ever do it. Just racking up all those belts among themselves. So I feel like no matter what tag team, I'm biased. I feel like no matter what any tag team does, it would be a lot to fill those shoes. There are other tag teams that have done the same. Miz has done it, you know. When Chris Jericho is in WWE, he's done it. He's racked up with anybody who and can. And New Day's just been the only fraction to consistently do it with them. Nobody new, nobody else. It wasn't Xavier Woods with like Bobby last year, anybody else. It's just been them since day one. So I think it would be a great homage to call it the New Day rule. What other?
I agree.
Yeah. What else do we?
It could have been the Uso rule, but I'm just kidding.
They messed that up themselves. We ain't talking about them. Who we are talking about is the return of Ms. Sola Ruka. Getting to meet some of the newbies backstage. Of course, she got into a little segment with Carmen Petrovich, who I'm saying take a liking to as well. She's standing on women's business with that Kill Bill sword of hers. I want to know if she had to travel all the way to what was the place in Kill Bill she had to go to? Okinawa. Make sure she had to go to that little village and get it back get her Tori Hanzo steel. I'm sorry, she's starting to grow on me. Another person that's starting to grow on me, who was in this segment, who I'm gonna find hilarious for a long time because she's full of Red Bull. Miss Brinley Reese also introduced herself. And Carmen basically showed real quick you're going to get fire and ice this round at NXT because she's been gone for a while. She's been injured. She was taken out by Blair Davenport. She has a match. That Retribution match is actually going on tonight. I'm interested to see that. But they also came before, Malik and Idris swooped Brinley away from being too energetic. She also came face to face with Lola Vice, who is also still recovering from being the NXT breakout star, losing that opportunity at the last PLE. And she seems to have beef with Carmen because she's saying, you're not in my league. You all are beneath me. And Sola Ruka being the old person that she used to be, she's still all chill, all vibes. She's like, y'all need to sell this out the old fashioned way in the ring. So we'll probably get that tonight as well. I'm interested.
Me too. I won't lie. I was not interested until this little interaction. I was like, okay, snooze. Because number one, I'm like, okay, y'all kind of look the same. I'm not very interested in that. It's like three people, different fonts. Like y'all just different fonts of each other. But then I saw this. I was like, okay, I kind of like this a little bit. I kind of like the dynamic here. I want to see how it plays out. Y'all have my attention. Y'all don't have like my full set of eyeballs, but y'all got I'm listening. I'll listen from the kitchen as I cook tonight.
Did you say that they all have the same font?
No, it's like, listen. When we're talking about typography, Talk about it's like the same color, different font, or same font, different colors type energy. That's what they give. It's like they're so similar, but like one might be italicized, one's bold, and one's underlined, but it's all the same font family. Like it's just bold, thin, normal. Like that's what they gave before last week.
But one has blue hair and one has blonde, and then one short.
Yeah, they do.
You know what's messed up, homie? That all the stereotypes. They say we be looking the same. So then now I'm gonna turn on the TV.
Part, though, but that's the crazy part. They be like, we all look the same. Have you seen yourselves? I can see the same two type faces. Like, you know when you go on WWE and they got them stock faces?
Stop. Yes, it is.
Like WWE games is like, which template are you? Template 1 through 3? Because they're the same thing. Just move the nose, move the eyes like 2 inches. It's the same thing though. That's the energy it gave. It gave me very much template faces.
But so are you trying to say that Sean, when he scopes the internet by accident, he's literally...
I'm not saying it looked like his wife, but they look like his wife. They look like different versions of his wife. Go look up his wife. I'm not joking. Go look up that man's wife. And you'll be like, oh. And especially look her up when she had blonde hair. You'll be like, oh. All
right, wait.
Like Curcio. I think it's Curcio.
Let me see. Is it?
Or Kerchi? Hold on.
I'm looking it up now. Hold on.
Yeah. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me. And I know you saw her with blonde hair. Tell me I'm lying. Lying.
I plead the fifth.
Thank you. Love you, Sean. Not saying there's anything crazy behind the way you scout. I'm just saying you like what you like. Think whatever's going to sell is going to sell. His wife was a Nitro girl. Okay.
Oh, shoot. She was.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know what's going to sell. There's nothing wrong with it. You know it's going to sell. And having a bunch of blonde hair with a little bit of tan, like at the end, whatever. Do your big one. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying.
He's just a sexy boy.
Exactly.
Looking for carbon copies of his wife.
But also look at the people he historically dated while in WWE, Tammy. Sonny.
So you're saying he has a type?
Yes, very much so. His wife's not even a natural blonde. Come on. That lady is a brown-haired woman. I'm just saying, I love it though. I love it.
Look, the blondes was given in that segment. Yes, it was.
I was in that segment. I was like,
you even had a little bit of Coco Blonde over here with Lola and her highlights. I'm like, dang.
It gave italicized, bold, and underlined. Like it was like, okay. Like it was like, all right, a little bit. Soul Roca is one of us though. Yeah.
Low key, she is one of us. She also has had dye. I mean, I like her hair. I like the new hair. Mm-hmm. But I was like, she's the way she said it's all cool, man. I laughed because I said, you sound like your man. You need to relax before you start giving away. You sound like Mr. Breeze. You sound like Mr. Cool, quiet, peaceful bait himself. Calm down.
Sick.
But yeah, for Triple H. Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Triple H's wife was not that buff. She was buff in one area, and that was enhanced.
She been in the gym though. She had a whole workout video.
You know what? I want to see what she's doing these days. Now that she's gone from the Fed, I want to see what are we working with, Miss Steph? Because I know you're in that gym 10 days a week. I just know
yes. What are the backstories? So we can get into a little bit of these segments real quick. I do want to get into the biggest one. It's leading to Stand and Deliverr. We, of course, know the winner of last week of RoadBlock, Mr. the Don, the other Don, Mr. Tony D'Angelo himself. I'm going to put his face right here. This man will go up against Ilya Dragunov. He's in the 1-1. He's going up against Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliverr in Philadelphia a few hours before night 1 at WrestleMania for the NXT Championship against Mr. Ilya Dragunov himself. And this segment, if it doesn't give you that restaurant in Patterson on The Sopranos, I don't know what does. They at the round table had officially welcomed Mr. Crucifino
Hello.
They welcome Mr. Crucifino to the family, the new family. They also talked about how he gets the job done. He got it done. His first assignment was to get that man, Mr. Ilya Dragunov, in the building enough to have a nice little chat with the Don himself. And then I think the next part of his job was to put homeboy in the trunk and send him to the bridge. So
the consigliere.
Yes, and they did it very well. The segment to me was very interesting because it gave a hint of the fact, two things. We now know that Tony's not playing. He said that he's watched a lot of people come and go, get that tag team championship, but they're not on Ilya's level. That's what I got from it. And he is, in which I fully agree with that. He's definitely on Ilya's level. He's tough. He's rigged. You know, he might have been in the gym for a little bit underneath that suit because last week he was peaking. Let's be real. He was jacked.
My boy doing one or two things, and I hope it's the good time.
No, I hope it's the clean one. But
it is.
He was looking good. And I appreciate, though, Ilya basically saying, like, listen, you doing all this is great, but when it comes to this championship, I'm serious about what's mine. And that drawing him out to come out into the bridge. They had a one-on-one, a very deep conversation about what this match means to them and how Tony's going to find a way to figure out how to get this. And he stood on this bridge many times, but this is different. It's with the NXT championship involved. And Ilya said one thing about me is, I'm going to find my way. And left him on the bridge to think about what's coming up next. We're probably going to hear from the family again. Because I think personally also that it's Lucifino, and I think Lucifino and Stacks are going to enter the tag team. If not, we're going to see probably another confrontation with somebody else who lost their championship shout opportunity. But give me your thoughts. This is main event for you?
Very much so. I love Tony D. I've loved Tony D since when the family first came about. Like, this is his moment. He waited so patiently for this. The man then did the tag team thing with Stacks. They got rid of a member. They threw him overboard, and then he popped up at AEW the next week. Like, the family has been through it. And I feel like this character, don't get me wrong, can it last forever? No. But, like, it's so fun, and it reminds me of when, like, WWE would have these, like, it reminds me of the FBI. It reminds me of Nunzio. It reminds me of, what was the dude that was in the dress? Vito. Vito. Reminds me of Chuck Palumbo. Like, it reminds me of that, but, like, this dude is actually Italian. He's got the flag tatted on him. Like, I have no doubt that his real name might be Tony D'Angelo if he told me it was. Like, I think he's just gone the extra mile with the character. And I think it's his time. I think him versus Ilya is going to be a great test of how great he really can be in the ring. Because I feel like we've seen glimpses, but, like, here's the real test, buddy. Like, how rough and tough is Tony D? Like, this will solidify the Mafia Boss character to me. If you could hang with Ilya for a little bit, even 5-10 minutes, I know you are going to solidify that character, this Mafia Boss, this I'll do anything to win, I'll get rid of whoever I got to, like, I'm brutal kind of character.
You know what's crazy to me? Like, a lot of people, I think, don't appreciate, like, 2.0 crowd didn't appreciate the Don.
No.
This crowd appreciates the Don a lot more. Because I felt like with 2.0 the Don, it was cute for the moment but remember, first 2.0 was way too gimmicky. Like, everybody had to have a gimmick. Everybody had to have a gimmick. You had Cora Jade as a skater girl. You had Wendy Chu as the bedtime girl. You had Toxic Attraction. You had Mr. Strong Style. You had so many people you had the Legata Fantasma. You had the only person who didn't have a gimmick to me. Well, even he had a gimmick. Even Carmelo Hayes, bringing on Trick Williams, they had their gimmick. It was so gimmick heavy that it was too much to follow.
It was now like mid-90s WWE. Everybody got a job.
But remember who was running the operations. Mr. Redacted and Mr. Bruce Blanchard himself. So that does not surprise me. but now we're toning down the characters. We're introducing storylines again. We're introducing segments. We're still keeping the promos, and the Don is more appreciated because they're like, listen, this is one of the only gimmicks that is lasting since day one. Is not going nowhere.
Exactly.
Like I said, we're coming off the cusp of honoring Mr. Tony Soprano himself, and this fits. And in the heart of Philadelphia, you really think
it's gonna go
his
crazy.
connection? Yeah, his connections aren't gonna root for him.
Exactly. Like, it's gonna go crazy. I think if there was one character from 2.0 I would have saved, it would have been Tony D. It's also perfectly timed. This year's the 25th anniversary of The Sopranos. Like, it just works. The dude's good. Stax is good. Like, them recruiting new members to be part of the family, calling him the consigliere, like, who's a dude who's like an underbot. Like, come on. It's really good. Like, they know it's like they really invested in the gimmick and made it as close to the like mafia.
Like, even from everything to the Italian restaurant, and even Raza. Like, Raza's so even out the playing field to me.
Right.
It's good to have a girl that evens out the playing field. She's like, boss.
No,
she's like, boss. We're doing a
thing. Like the Carmella / not even, because like Carmella, like, this is the thing about the mafia like thing that I really appreciate about what she contributes. It's not giving the typical mafia woman who tries to avoid all the dirty work. Is like, oh, I had no idea, but low key they know. She's like, nah, I'm in there. I'm getting my hands dirty. I know I'm benefiting from this. Let me get my hands dirty. Hardy Wrestling Podcast says, I don't think it's main event. I think Trick and Carmelo should main event Stand and Deliver.
We're gonna dive right into that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but do I think this is a main event worthy feud?
Yeah. This is definitely given second to last.
Yeah.
And then Trick and Carmelo are going to follow the fuck up with it. That's what it's giving.
They have to. I think
that's what it's giving.
That storyline's too good. They've been telling it for too long. Like, they've been having other storylines while doing this storyline. Like, it's too good.
So another segment I want to get into before we dive into all the matches. This one, of course. I've been complaining, child, and I hate that I complained, but I told her to get a shirt and wear it because she done said it so many times. But this promo from Miss Roxanne Perez after the gruesome attack she put on Miss Lyra Valkyria at RoadBlock, I'm convinced now. I wasn't convinced before. I'm a little bit more convinced now.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I think me and you are gonna be on the opposite fence of this because I imagine everything she said. Like, I've been saying, listen, you complain too much, put on a shirt and wear it. But that didn't make me realize that homegirl did physically pass out a year ago today at RoadBlock. And then when she talked about that promo she had when she was in the ring with Becky Lynch, and like, if anybody's best, her and Becky Lynch are literally on that same caliber as far as best. The like rookie wise, Becky is even beneath her a little bit. Stellar career, yes. Like, rookie career, everybody's beneath Roxanne Perez. Between her and Tiffy Tom, literally beneath them both. And I remember that crowd booing. If anybody was on social media with me that's in the chat, I even had something to say about it because that disappointed me that people were booing her. Because I'm like, you put her in the ring with Becky Lynch to get booed like that? That's wild to me. When she said that, so real quick, when she said that, she went home and cried about it.
Yeah.
I think that's when I realized that, the dragon had to be awoken by then. Because imagine you being the caliber of talent you are, and you have to literally talk to somebody who hasn't even had an NXT career as close to yours.
Yeah.
And then you have to basically beg for you to get your championship, and they still don't give it to you. That would make me mad as well. And I think that was one of the best parts of the promos that made me really feel like when she was like, screw all you, it kind of gave me Bailey vibes. But then when she said that, I was like, oh no, like, homegirl's pissed.
Don't get me wrong, heel Roxanne is needed. I totally 100% need this. I just feel like, just like at the beginning when Bailey was turning heel, I was like, all right, but show me though. Like, quit, just show me. Like, yes, the attack was great. I understand you're tired of it, but I feel like the moment for me when I was like, oh, Bailey for real heel is when she stabbed them hugger things. Like when she stabbed them shits.
Yeah, when she came out with the
sword
Oreni Shii sword and just started swinging left to right.
And I'm like, now show me. And you got to do kind of like Bailey. You got to show me for a long time that you for real heel. Like you for real committed to being just straight up evil, because she has such a sweet face. It's hard to sit there and be like, girl, now just because you wear some fishnets and some Doc Martens, I ain't finna sit here and be like, oh, you're bad now. Oh, you so bad now. So you're gonna have to be in there whooping ass for no reason. Like you gonna have to be in there. She has all the reasons to be mad. I need you to really show me how violent you could be though. Like I need Roxanne to start making bitches bleed. I don't know.
I need her to start. Need that. I need her to start putting people.
Yes,
I need. It's people like that I need that from. Yeah, like because with Carmelo Hayes, like you imagine the heat that she should be getting versus the heat that Carmelo Hayes should be getting, right? Exactly. Carmelo Hayes literally turned his back on his friends, so no caliber of heat is not going to compete with that. Like you turned on the homie that you brought to the dance in the first place. No caliber of heat's going to recover from that, right?
Yeah.
But then when you look at, in my opinion, when you look at the type of heel and the career she's had, it's gonna make me hard to hate her. And it's like I said, like it literally, like, and I understand, like and Josh was with me when I said it. I said, girl, like, and you lost your belt, and again, what is wet, and the sun is on one side and not on the other. We know all this. Like, you know, there's war in other countries. Like, we know, like, get to the point. Like, what you about to do? And then she finally did it.
In that promo, even when she was like, I lost my title and like I passed out, and for 12 months, I was like, okay, so we've seen so many people lose their title and not get another shot back. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And this is when I mean I need her to really be heel. I almost need her to change her moveset. I want Carmelo to also. I'm like, I don't want to see all that exciting high flying shit. Just start beating bitches down. Make me mad.
Yeah. I need you to pull
I need you to pull like a Jericho. Like
I need you to be Cora, because when Cora Jade turned heel, you didn't see no more Canadian destroyers off the side or her jumping off those type rope. She just started putting and kicking bitches. That's all I want. I don't want nothing else.
I need you to really invest in being a heel. Like, stop with all the fun high flying. You're no longer babyface. I don't want to see no more of that shit. I need you just straight up being dirty, being nasty, I need you spitting in people's faces, baby. And I need it. I need Randy Orton when he spit in Mick Foley face, leave a loogie. I need it.
Word. And
that's how heel you got to be for me to believe it.
No, Dylan. No, baby. Not even close. There's nobody else like Cora Jade. No. Cora Jade. Let me tell you something about Cora Jade. Cora Jade was petty. Evil. To do what she did to Roxanne, because imagine, like, and I can understand that too, being a part of the frustration for Roxanne Perez, because this girl has never really lost her titles. No. She had to give them shits up. That don't make no sense to me. So that's what I need her. That's what I needed for her to capitalize on. I don't care about the last 12 months. I don't care about you becoming baby champion, because guess what? You literally became that champion because you had a deadline win. You've been the lucky kid. You've been the 4-leaf clover of the NXT division. Yeah. So her being this, woo is me type shit, you're not going to get that from me ever. Which is why I was like, girl, if you're going to do something about it, be about that action.
High key, go ahead and fuck up Booker T. Do it. Right. If you do it, I'll believe you. Take him out. Do it. Tell him he ain't nothing. You ain't do nothing for my career. Do it. Disrespect him. I don't care.
I need her to jump from a rope. I need her to jump down from the rope and knock his headphones off and being like, I'm tired of you taking credit for my career. You shut up. I need her to do that. If she do that, she does that, I'm straight. I believe her. I believe anything you do. Because back to this comment real quick. What Cora Jade did is something that Roxanne should have also brought up. If it's not this, it's that. I had a tag team championship with somebody who stabbed me in the back. And what did you guys do? You guys didn't care that I lost the tag team championships. You guys just went about your business and crowned new tag team champions.
Legit.
I needed you to say some stuff like that. But no, you were worried about yourself, which is also some heel tactic. That's fine. But what Cora Jade did was say this shit is irrelevant and throw it in the garbage. And act like somebody we knew threw it in the garbage. And guess who had to come and save it for you? The person who threw it in the garbage back in the day. So you're not going to get me to believe that I should be for your pity party until you do some devious stuff. Yeah, I fully agree with Pablo. Like, I need you to literally walk over to Vic and smack the candy off the table. No, that's what I need you to do.
I need something, girl. Because right now it's giving cute girl gets mad. Like, it's giving, oh, hissy fit.
Yeah, it's giving. I didn't become captain of the squad, so I'm gonna kick this chair over.
Like, I need Roxanne to have some of the, like, I get the steel cage match, but I need her to have some of the most brutal matches she had. Like the way Tiff, like, they had to prove that Tiff was that girl with the match with Becky and she flipping and shit on top of, like, we need Roxanne to have that moment, but like in the heel way. Get Medusa to show up. I mean, if they want to recreate Roxanne throwing shit in the trash, throwing titles in the trash, I'm with it. That might get me mad. Maybe a little, not much, but
I don't know. It just takes. I don't know. It's just gonna take a lot for me. Like, I'm just not convinced.
Lovable. Like, yeah, she's lovable. Her whole shtick has been, I dreamed my whole life, show every single photo of her.
And you know what's crazy?
Booker T helped me get here, and I was in TNA, and blah, blah, blah. That's been her whole career. Like,
it's given what it gave for me with Cora, like, because Cora was like, I wrote on my letter that I was going to be the Divas champion and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, like, you too hot for that. Like, you too, like, you got to see these, like, I was talking about the internet boys, like, even before she got her enhancements done, you had to see the thirst tweets. Like, you had to see the boys. They were lining up her comments like, girl, you're not going to convince me that you want to be a Divas champion, child. Because the boys like you.
I think it's time for us to stop talking about how people want to be wrestlers as kids. Stop. Stop, because it makes it too hard for them to turn heel later. Like, it's only worked in a select moment. Stop showing us all these photos.
And you know what's crazy? You know who I said that about? And everybody was like, I had a conversation with, shout out to Keith, because I had a conversation with him and he was like, what do you think about the new Prophets turning heel? I was like, that's never happening. You're never going to get me to boo a Montez Ford who was in the military, a fan of WWE, who had his mom take him to his first WWE show when he was 14 years old. He's me. You're never going to convince me that he needs to be a heel. So stop. Bianca was more believable of a heel because Bianca had attitude. But you're never going to convince me to boo for him or
Bianca
her.
Is the better heel because her immediate heel thing could be, I didn't even want to do this shit. I did it because I was injured and I couldn't do the real shit I wanted to do. If that's not the heelest thing she could do, is be like, I barely wanted to do this. I only did this because I couldn't do the shit I used to do. And I
because when she came in,
and I came over here and dominated y'all that been dreaming about this for years. Boy, it's over. She gonna be hated.
Exactly. Like, when she came over, when she was heel, her attitude was, I'm the best. I'm the best than all you bitches. I can squat all you bitches. Like, I can out squat each and every one of you. And when she became face, guess what it was? I'm the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, the roughest. I'm the EST. So it balanced, but like, you're never gonna get me to boo Montez Ford. I'm sorry. So Roxanne, you need to go to that crowd you need to go to those same black people that be in the crowd that be singing "Whoop That Trick," and you need to punch all of them in the face for me to be convinced you're a heel.
For real, do something, girl. I don't know what you got to do. Maybe you got to be like Undertaker and start crucifying people, but do something. Girl, start hanging people from Hell in a Cell cages. Do something though. Make me mad. Make me start telling the fans to go fuck themselves. I don't know, but do something.
Oh my God.
Queen Charmel. Whoop Queen Charmel.
Make her, like,
Charmel
listen.
Pull up and whoop her ass.
Bring the baby. Make the kids cry. Do something.
That's what I'm
saying. Steal a headband from somebody. I don't know. Do something. It's gonna take but to me, it's gonna take a lot. Like I said, it isn't too far off too with Bailey. I feel like if they're gonna make Bailey face, it's definitely gonna be Bianca being like,
you in the ball sack.
Chase done been through enough. He just got the money back for the school, y'all. Leave Chase alone. We're gonna dive right into the matches. We're gonna take a real quick break though. Get everybody refreshed and rephrased, and I'm going to give you that break by saying goodbye to the guys who are gonna main event Stand and Deliverr. So here you go.
Better. So if it's not Malik and Idris, because Malik and Idris have been the tag team longer than Out the Mud, it's Out the Mud that's focused on getting those belts. And Scripps is going to play a powerful name into it because he's a person that's going to sit there and make deals with Ava, who's going to get the job done as getting the name out there, who's going to make sure that if they even have to clean the locker room, he's going to set it up so that happens. So Scripps, I don't want people to count Scripps out just because I say he ain't do enough. It was the first PLE they had. He probably wasn't scripted do enough, but trust me, keep an eye on him. He's like Miss Jade is there to make sure that the women don't get involved. But
I agree with Dylan too.
Yeah. She too. She was real close to giving what's the name of run for her, like giving her a stack for her money. Because even that booty drop finisher she be doing, I'm like, that shit hurt. That's your rib cage, child. That's your rib cage.
Fact. That's a fact. So you want to get into the next one?
Yes, I think yep. I think this might happen. I think this might even happen at RoadBlock because RoadBlock is March 5th.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need. If it comes to a street fight, if it comes to a death match, no, we don't do death matches in WWE. If it comes to a bull rope match, if it comes to a no holds bar, I need it to be a 1980s, 1990s styles match. Like, don't put these names on it. Excuse me. Don't put these names on it if you're not going to deliver and literally give us a street fight. Literally give us a brawl.
Give us a street fight.
Give us a street fight to where there is blood, to where there is literally you throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, the stove, the racks that's in the stove, because you know they still be warm, the burners, everything. Like, don't say street fight, don't say this and that if you're not giving us that, because it literally takes away from the match, because you're hoping to see one thing.
Listen, throw the kitchen sink, the stove, the cast iron pot, all that. Listen, Krista B said throw it all in there, throw it all in there. Give us a street fight. Give us ECW rules.
No, I need it. ASAP.
So real quick before we get into this match, right, Pop? I was going to talk to you, so I feel like she would appreciate this. So I'm going to drop a fun fact. My thing for WrestleMania, because I have a thing for WrestleMania all the time, is I like to learn about the Hall of Famers that go in. And I had to start with my Paulie. Because I know Paulie from New Jack's documentary. You don't even call him Paulie Heyman. He be like, I told Paulie that I need you in court. So I've always been a huge fan of Paulie. I've been to the ECW arena plenty of times in the past. So I had to do a deep dive. And shout out to Cultaholics. Because I learned from Cultaholics the full story of ECW.
I watched it literally as I was moving.
I didn't know. Did it come up on your recommended on YouTube, or did you look it up?
I watched all of them.
I think they just dropped it. So I never knew that ECW originally wasn't ECW, like Extreme Championship Wrestling. I learned Eastern Championship Wrestling, and that Paul Heyman, yes, he is the owner of ECW, but he kind of weaseled his way in to take full ownership when it was Eastern Championship Wrestling from a different guy.
He snuffed out Dan Gilbert. He made Dan Gilbert leave.
That's crazy. I learned they almost had like a deal to show on like Time Warner that got cut.
Yep.
I learned that even before the whole incident with New Jack had happened, there was another incident that happened that cost him a TV deal. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I learned that. So they finally confirmed, they rectified in the best summary way possible the whole story of what happened between Paul Heyman and Sabu.
Oh yeah.
And I was happy they did that, because a lot of people were like, for years, like even I have I talked to a coworker of mine, like a coworker of mine who's much older, a gentleman that works at my job, and he remembers ECW, and he was just like, yeah, it used to be like the thing to watch. It was like beer and late night, but like everybody put a really bad taste in my mouth when Sabu left, because everybody really loved Sabu, and I'm like, that's not the real story. But again, he's not somebody that pays attention to the dirt sheets or documentaries or whatever. And I'm like, I didn't know that it was because Sabu double booked himself.
No, legit.
For a New Japan Pro Wrestling show, and Paul Heyman got pissed about it and basically said, Sabu ain't here, he ain't coming, he turned his back on all you. He said, fuck y'all, and he went to do a different show and fired him that way. That is crazy.
Dude, I've always said, y'all should let Paul Heyman do everything in a company, but actually run it. Like, let that man do all the creative, let him book, let him blah, blah, blah. Don't let that man near the finances. Don't let that man actually have like full legitimate control of a company, because it's going downhill. Like, it's going downhill. And don't let don't let him do nothing with like talent, like contracting. Like, don't let him be that person.
Listen, let him be the chief counsel to the tribal chief and keep it fuck moving.
Exactly.
You see what he did for CM Punk's career? You see what he did for Undertaker's career? Let him do that.
He's only had a few people who he aligned himself with that just ended up being
Remember his, but listen, I had hopes for Curtis Axel. I'll be really honest about it.
I really did too. I mean, look at Ryback these days. He was a Paul.
I never had hope for him.
Never had hope. But I mean, when you look back at like the Most Dangerous Alliance, pretty much everybody in there became somebody. Like he really picked really good people who bought in. The thing is, they had to buy into his philosophy. So you either absolutely love Paul Heyman or you couldn't stand Paul Heyman. But if you bought into the philosophy, you could be a Paul Heyman guy. Like, I look at him really pushing like Aleister Black during the pandemic when he was executive director of like Raw. He was gonna eat.
Yeah, he weaseled his own way, Dylan. Google it. The Complete History of ECW by Cultaholic Wrestling. Great YouTube channel. I learned a lot on that YouTube channel. I learned a lot because I personally hate people who think they can mansplain me to death or on my panties. So in order for me to properly correct them, I just watch Cultaholics. So I'd be like, actually, and then they realize like, oh, she knows everything. I can't do this, and then they just move on. But yes, Paul Heyman's the GOAT. He's a future Hall of Famer for real. Can't wait for that.
Wait for him to be inducted.
I can't wait. That speech
is gonna be.
It's gonna be going to church.
Yeah,
going to church on Friday night, honey.
Right.
And I know Vaughn, we're gonna get into it one day because Vaughn is a future guest of Watch What Happens NXT. So we will be getting into that with him. So we're going to get into this real quick. I just showed the clip about how I think Out the Mud is gunning for them tag team titles, and they did. They came up against LWO. But of course, I expect nothing less from LWO. I expect for Joaquin to jump from there all the way to that NXT sign one day, and everybody just be like, holy shit. They went up against Out the Mud to qualify for the NXT Tag Team Championships and won. Scripps, even being there, did everything in his power to make sure it happened for the boys. But Bronco and Lucan also, his name is Scripps. You like his mama named him Scripps? I'm gonna name him.
Oh yeah,
Reggie. I'm gonna name him Reggie.
He Reggie forever in my heart. Reginald Reggie.
So basically, they qualified for the NXT Tag Team Championships qualifiers. We had 2 more matches. They need 1 more team to go, and it's a fatal 4-way at Stand and Deliverr. I like that LWO is back in NXT. I think the NXT crowd. I think they missed that crowd.
Do you think they're gonna throw Garza and Carrillo in there to be messy? So it's like,
no.
Okay, good. I hope not.
I think they want. To say it the right way, because I'm glad, and I'm so glad Andrade's not in that mess. I think Andrade needs to stay far away from it. I think these boys are also doing what Braun Breaker is doing and pulling double duty. Okay. I think if they don't win this, their next try will be after this to go for the main card title. I think Garza and Harberto need to go for the main one. The undisputed, but not now.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're setting us up for like how they did at what I don't remember which 31. I think it was when the Hardys came back for that ladder match, and it was like Enzo and Cass, the Bar, them, and like a couple other times. I feel like that's gonna happen again.
And exciting news: who was at Raw in North Carolina?
I don't know, maybe Matt and Reby.
Reby was like, what? I with her little TikTok, I said, no, this bitch ain't no fucking Skybox in North Carolina. You gonna just pull up like that and do a TikTok and not inform us of why you were there, woman?
Right. Dudley's
woman.
and Philly.
Because you know what I want? No, because I want the Hardy Boys to finally get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And yes, if the Dudleys show up, but Bray better sit his fat ass right on that stage and induct them, because that's what they deserve. That's what he owes them. Because when that whole messery was going on, he was like, my name was Sharon, I wasn't here. And then Devon was like, my name is Sonny, I ain't in this, honey. So they owe him that.
Period. I feel like the Dudleys are going to come back. They signed those new contracts. I feel Devon said he wants one more. Can Devon do one more? Can Devon do another ladder match? I don't think so.
You know what's crazy? I have a hint that Bubba Ray is trying to be more involved with WWE when I saw that Nick Nemeth was joining Busted Open Radio, because you're going to start seeing less. You're going to start seeing less Bubba Ray. As soon as I saw it was Nick joining Busted Open, they were like, brand new co-host. I said, yeah, bye. I said, bye. I'll see you soon, Bubba.
Which sucks, because I'd rather them get rid of Tommy fucking Dreamer, but let me stop. I can't stand
Tommy Dreamer is loved by everybody, like, because Sam loves him. Sam loves him, so I didn't see that happening either.
But me, I can't stand that man. Get out of here, boy.
Because Sam Roberts loves him, so I don't see. Unfortunately, that ain't happening. It is what it is. Unfortunately. So with that being said, though, what else we got going on? We had a lot going on last night. Oh, let's get into this real quick, homie.
Listen, I'm with it. All right, Ridge.
She's like, listen, I'm snacking on this one because that was the kind of match it was.
All right, Ridge. All right, I like this for Ridge now that this Brawling Brute shit is over.
Oh, I'm so done with this Brawling Brute. I was hoping they wouldn't become a match. You know what's crazy? I'm hoping they don't become a faction like the tag team, because I'm like, don't do that to Ridge, because he's doing better now by himself.
Where is we don't even know where what's his name is. I can't even think of his name. Sheamus, he chilling.
Yo, they need to put up a Where's Sheamus thing.
Right. We got Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They're a tag team, doing whatever. Mm-hmm. Ridge over here proving himself on NXT. He had to go back to NXT because he didn't hurt how many people? He had to go ahead and get that together. He did. And I feel like Sean Spears is a good first opponent. He's coming back. He's still doing the chairman thing. I'm glad he's not Ty Dillinger. I'm glad he still kept like the perfect 10 idea. But also, Cody Rhodes and Sean Spears are pretty good friends. I'm just saying.
You know what I said last night? I was like, the minute I saw, first of all, you saw Cody back, and I'm like, all right, all his little friends about to follow. And then you saw Punk come back, and I said, listen, when I saw that it was Sean Spears in the shadows, I laughed so hard. Because I'm like, I should have fucking known. When I heard that, a lot of people didn't even know, like I said, a lot of people didn't even know he left. I was like, he leaving. I thought it was because his wife was expecting another, him and Cassie are expecting another child. Fine by me. And he shows up with that damn chair, and I'm like, they let him be Sean Spears and not Ty Dillinger. Oh, him, Trips, and Cody had a nice little chat, because ain't no way, bro. I'm sorry. There's nothing you could do to convince me that he didn't go back there and say, listen, I know I left, but I left because your father-in-law was literally draining me dry, and I had to leave. And now that your father-in-law is not here, I'm here.
Back. Listen, I told people this when Cody came back. I said, oh, it's about to get crazy.
Yeah,
Cody's great babyface. I don't think he's given up being a babyface for the time being, but he's putting the pieces in play to be a heel when he's ready. Does no one not remember him and Nick Aldis's feud? Him and Nick Aldis are gonna line up at some point. Like, he's going to SmackDown after this. Him and Nick have a long history. They've hinted to it on TV, whatever. Now Sean Spears is over here. What the heck is going on? Because I don't know.
Nick needs to take off that crispy ass suit and get in them tights, because he is not one to play with.
Exactly.
The reason why I got back into NWA on the side is because of his reign. He's one of the best title reigns on that brand in his resurgence. I need him to get his ass back in the ring. I don't know if he's secretly changing in the back. I don't know whether he's training down at NXT and we don't know about it. All I know is that Mickey's like, listen, baby, whenever you ready, I got this. The tights are still in the closet. Put it that way.
Ricky Starks is thinking about it for sure. He be in the Nightmare family. Jade is already over there.
Jade is already going there. And then you also have the fact of this.
Yes, Scrap Daddy versus Aldis. Scrap Daddy said he'll never wrestle again. I think he's lying. But
Punk say he's never wrestling again. And look how many times he's never wrestled again. I'm sorry. Brian, never wrestling again. Paige, not going to be wrestling again ever.
Edge.
Like, Edge, can't wrestle no more. Come on,
Christian Cage can never do it again.
And AJ, I know it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, queen, but you're not fooling no goddamn body. We saw you training with The Rock. We seen you do what you do on heels. You're not fooling nobody. I need to get your ass back in there. Throw that light it up back on. Smile at somebody. Flip out on their ass and leave. That's all I want from you.
Thigh-high Converse on it. Get your ass in that ring.
That's all I need from you. I don't want nothing else. What else can we say happened? A lot happened. There's so much to dive into still. Of course, like I said, if you're not following Pablo the Don, you follow them on all their social media platforms. I've scrolled it down here. What other match was very interesting to me? It happens to be this one. It's good to see Robert Stone finally doing something other than boss people around. But I feel like Lexis King, this was a wash. I feel like Lexis King was just not it. I'm waiting for Von Wagner and Lexis King more than I am waiting for this.
Right.
Because I feel like now it's just getting like Robert Stone gets pissed at someone and he's trying to prove that he's just as big and athletic as the people he affiliates himself with, and he still ends up getting his ass beat, which is what I think essentially happened with this match.
Agreed. I mean, it's going to be great to see like 2 second-generation wrestlers go against each other.
I think so.
Bo Beverly.
I think
Bo Beverly's son and Brian Pillman Senior's son.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, what do we think of generational talent now? Because it is Mag, listen, we're in a feud where generational talent is literally going to main event WrestleMania, right? Plus one. Well, a generational talent and Seth, but you know, and then you got generational talent,
and then
and then Seth, and then Seth. Like, well, we're happy to see. We're happy to see all my brothers and sisters and Becky, and so and then you also have the Usos, who are literally blubbers, like keeping up that tradition. Yo, my TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, a lot of people were messaging me like, yo, I forgot about Brett versus Owen, or I forgot about Matt versus Jeff. And I'm like, it's a WrestleMania tradition. When it's the biggest WrestleMania of all time, it's got to happen. You had 10, what was it?
10, 25, and now 40.
40. Yeah, it's a tradition. You got to, with the milestones, you got to keep it up. So Jimmy and Jay said, listen, we're going to fuck it up. Let's fuck it up.
Now I need to know who the next one might be. At 50, it's only 10 years away.
Who could it be? I wonder. Do you think so? If so, let's say if another Fatu shows up, could it be a Solo versus a Zilla or Tonga?
Zilla, Jacob.
Could be. Never know. I realized that too. I said him on Twitter that I just realized that Soko Anau and Dusty Rhodes had a match in 1980. So this story has been following me like a dust bunny at the top of a closet. And now I want the story to be ended because who the hell got time to be going all the way back?
You know who the real possibility is?
Who?
The children of Haku, Tamatonga.
Oh, yeah.
His two brothers, one's adopted, but his actual brother too. But that's a real possibility.
I'm tired of Robbie E. Dylan, stop it.
I mean, one of the greatest WrestleMania.
Dylan, like, Vaughn forgets that I'm old, but I ain't that old. So anything past WrestleMania, like
12, I'm not going to remember. So I rely on YouTube and literally watching old school matches happen and old school, Dusty goes, take a look at the next best dressed champion, Rick. Bring that old catch me out here. I love it.
I'm sick.
So I rely on stuff like that. Yeah, but I wasn't. Listen, I'm not arguing with you in this chat, Vaughn. Okay, just not
I will
going
say
to.
on Lexus King, them enhancements still ain't working, brother.
Listen,
Leave that damn beard alone.
I don't. But here's the thing, but it's working. Like even his role, them choosing him to do the opening for RoadBlock was perfect. Because you just give what's the perfect way to say it? You just give overly rich kid of Beverly Hills in a drop down convertible vibe. That's what you give me that don't have no job because you waiting for day to croak so you can take all his money and the effects of it, you dress how the hell you want. That's what he give me. So it worked. Junior. Huh?
I'm nobody's junior.
Yeah, that's what you give me. You like daddy dying, so I'm gonna just take the money. That's what you give me. The veneers, he needed that. Yeah, I didn't see his teeth before he went to you didn't see his teeth before AEW. He needed those. Watching his teeth on Dark Side of the Ring, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, go ahead and fix before someone knocked the rest out.
Yeah, he needed that. We're not gonna knock the veneers. We can't. But on I'm excited. I think I'm gonna dive a little bit more into this on a future episode of Watch What Happens NXT, because I feel like tonight we'll finally get, if we do get that match going forward, I feel like I can do more of a how did we get here. But I don't know if Lexus King is gonna be able to have a match at Stand and Deliverr. It'll be good to see him at Stand and Deliverr. But I want it more or less for the North American Championship.
Yeah, I agree. We gonna see though. I'm excited.
We got so much, and what's crazy is so much that's happened already, and we still got Stand and Deliverr to deal with.
No,
I even think this might be a possibility at Stand and Deliverr. So before this match even happened between Obafemi and Brooks Jensen, I don't know. I think he's trying to ball with the big boys, as they say in Africa. You trying to bomb and run with the big boys, but you're not big enough to run with in England, they say you way too big for your boots. So I think that's what's going on here. And him to confront Obafemi in the parking lot, knowing damn well Oba is on site. And for for Briggs to be like, I don't care what you're going through, you need to man up. But for him to still help him out, I already told people you never know, they might not be done. And this just proves my point. They're not done with each other. There's still a soft spot for Briggs. He still wants to be this person that's by himself, but he still has a soft spot for somebody he literally watched grow.
Yeah.
And Brent and Jensen held his own in this match, which is why it's going to stick out to me too, that Jensen's very good. He is starting to prove now more that he's a better solo competitor than Briggs is, which is something that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're trying to point out, because even in this segment, Jensen had it, even in the match last week, Jensen was holding on pretty tightly. And that's smart, because now you've made me believe that Jensen is worth rooting for. He's babyface to me now. It did what it was supposed to do, but what it did not do was separate, Brooks and Jensen the way that Briggs wanted to. But what it did also do was give me another dream match that I'm hoping happens, which will probably be Obafemi and Briggs. So what do you think? Because it did a lot.
No, it did. I think Jensen proved himself a lot more capable than I think he was supposed to. I really want Obafemi to ditch these little fur things around his arms and legs. Really do. Stop.
It's a tribal thing.
I know, but girl, sir.
Sir.
That hair is about wet. Sir, let's stop.
You know what I need him to do? I need him to just come out. And
then take it off.
Yeah. No, I need him to come out in that top cloak, not the one that Apollo Crews used to have, but they have another one where it's just a cloak over it, and it's if you're gonna come out, do the full umbuku. Go full umbuku here. Don't give me half.
Like, and I feel like that's the thing. We were like, say what y'all want, good, but Apollo Crews' character was like, are we leaning into the stereotypes, brother? You do not sound like that. You never have sounded like that. You could still be Nigerian without an accent. You know that, right? Like, you don't have to do this, okay? And it's just like, this is a better, I feel like this is an improvement on what Apollo was doing, because it feels more authentic to him, because like the accent ain't forced for fucking once. But it's just like, still, I'm just like, you don't have to come out here with this and wrestle in it. Come out with something on and take it off and represent your tribe. Like, make that one of your taunts is representing your tribe. Like, do something like that. But I thought the match was good. I think Briggs versus Obafemi must happen. I want it to happen. I need it to happen. I'm praying it happens at Stand and Deliverr, because, you know, I'll be there. So,
you know what else I'm praying to happen?
What? Or make it a three-way shoot.
This.
Wait. This. Yeah. Because Dijak be looming. Justice for my guy. He definitely need to be on main roster, though. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? Because you know it's crazy, because this would be, if he does, it's the second time going back to the main roster. Yeah. And it's like, dude, no offense, but like, they don't believe in you enough. And I don't understand why they don't believe in you enough. But like, they need to believe in you.
Triple H believed in him. Vince McMahon did not. Vince McMahon put him up with the retribution joint. But Triple H believes in him. I feel like, let this man do what he's supposed to do with Obafemi, and then bring him up to the main roster. I don't know where he go, what he do. I think if Gunter ends up retaining his title, this is the guy. If y'all aren't gonna pull the trigger on Chad Gable at some point, Dijak is it.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that match would be crazy.
You know what else is crazy to me? I feel like I said last week, and I don't know if you agree with me, but NXT Dijak first round and this Dijak are two of the same people. We're finally he's getting his rhythm back. And I think maybe going back down, because like, it happens when you lose your momentum on, when you lose your momentum going to the main roster, you could lose your momentum from what you used to have. And a lot of people were like, who's this guy? But now that he's back on NXT, even like that match that they had, the cage match, the silent match, impressed the fuck out of me. And I was just like, it's solely because this is the Dijak that was on NXT first round when he was there with Adam Cole, and you know, his match with LA Knight is one of the best matches on NXT to date. Like, we're finally getting him back.
Yeah. Matches with Keith Lee to me are just never going to be like nothing. Like, that was the match where when you just need some shit, Dijak and Keith, Dominic Dijakovic and Keith, like, please. But I do want this to happen. I will say I want this to go ahead and go on.
So many possibilities. So many. What else do we have? Just before we wrap up, I'm gonna talk about another segment that happened. You had 2 women's matches here. Probably won't dive into them way too much, because I want to get into the build of both of them on next week's episode of Watch What Happens NXT. But you had Ariana Grace go against Gigi Dolan. Of course, the stipulation was that if Ariana is to win, she has to give Gigi Dolan a makeover. So we need to see what happens with that. But the finishing was interesting. No, I'm not going to put that creepy face of that girl with that low blow, because that shit just looked weird. Actually, I'm a troll, so I might just do it anyway. But what you already had, what you had as well was you had Thea basically say that she has no tag team partner, because homegirl was, because JC and Jasmine were being the 2 J's, and they were hanging out, and they didn't bother to help her out, and she wasn't jealous or nothing, so she says. But then when it came to the match, she had Kalani to help her out, because you know Kalani's been getting harassed by Kiana James and Izzy Dame, and then she got attacked Carmelo Hayes style, Trick Williams style backstage, and then you had, you know, Fallon Henley being Fallon Henley and root for your girl, but they still lost.
Right.
And Thea let JC have
it. Yeah.
Let homegirl have it. She said, if I'm a loser, guess she said, what did she gave you Beck, baby. She said, I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you heal me? So she said, the old Thea Hell is here to stay. I ain't you ain't me. Our friendship is done. She kicked homegirl to the curb, which I'm pretty sure JC's not going to let that go.
And then she ran around them in a circle. I was like,
she gave you 2 laps.
The girl's back. 2 laps. She's back.
She gave 2 laps, and then with the whole, I'm gonna just put the picture up because it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like she just like Ariana Grace wins me over because of things like this, like the whole match. She was like, no. She was like, ref, wait. She was like, I'm trying to help you. Brought the tiara into the ring and was like, this is for you. This could be you. I was like, oh my God, girl.
Her facials are incredible.
She just wins me over, bro. Every time, like she didn't miss a step because I'm just like, yo, like who is really yelling in a match like that? Right. Like who the hell is doing that? Her. So with that being said, I want to see. I think these developments are going to be interesting going forward. Dylan's giving us spoilers. Shout out to Dylan.
That's I'm like, what time it is? All right, Dylan.
We're going to wrap it up real quick because I'm going to talk about one of the best segments that happened, and then we're going to let everybody enjoy NXT. But if you are tuning in, just watch NXT to the end with us. We wrap it up really slowly. What are your thoughts on this, real quick?
Much like Drew, Dijak's contract is up, so they may push him as an incentive to resign. It wouldn't surprise me if HBK and Co. want to wait to commit him until Dijak's contract. I agree. I think that's strategy. I think that is part of it. I think it's kind of look what we can do for you if you were to re-up, but if you don't, it is what it is. Would you take your chances? But I think it's almost like it puts the like. I don't even know what to call them, the wrestlers, my bad. It puts them in like a catch-22 because it's like, do you go out on a limb and really believe in yourself and really like be like, you know what? Like, screw y'all, it is what it is. Like, I'ma just have faith and I'm gonna go elsewhere and make it work. Or do I, okay, this could happen if I re-up. The thing with WWE is you are gonna make good money. Like, you're not gonna be hurting for no cash, even if you're sitting in catering. Obviously, you don't want to, but even if you're sitting in catering, you're gonna be making well over 6 figures a year anyway. Especially, well, him, not everybody in NXT, but he will. So it's
a brilliant contract mostly.
Yeah. So I think for him, they should start edging towards pushing him just because he is such a great talent and it seemed like he got his mojo back. And I think he'll resign. Like, I really don't think he had a really good name on the indies, but I think he would go back on the indies for a while before going elsewhere again. And it's one of those things of, do you want to do that? Because now, because of like Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth, and all these people, there's money in the indies now. But
and there's not even that, it's just money, it's opportunity in the indies. Because like, as much as we know him to be the wrestle god, and he had that stink. Now he had that stink in that brief stink when he was just the deathmatch god and
CZW, like he was everywhere.
Even him, that same week, a lot of people don't remember, and a lot of people in the New York area, shout out to people in the chat that are from New York. He came to HOG 2 weeks later and won the HOG champ. So there's opportunity, just like Nick Nemeth was literally in Japan with New Japan Pro and then shows up to TNA.
Matt Riddle is literally wrestling like at a local indie show this weekend in my like near where I'm living now. Like Kurt Angle's gonna be there. Like it's like so much money to be made in the indies now because the wrestling economy is so good. So I think it's up to Dijak. Like, do you want to rest on yourself, prove that you could do your thing? You're gonna be booked well on the indies, and then maybe you sign with AEW or TNA and then you go back to WWE at a later date? Or do you have faith that Shawn Michaels and Triple H will remember like the person you were when you were with Keith Lee and stuff, and like be like, all right, we're gonna push him now because he re-upped. I think it's just that's the game you play. That's the gamble you take when you're in that position as a wrestler, I think.
I agree so much.
I want him to stay in WWE.
I want him to stay too. I feel like, especially now with the resurgence, like I said, of all these people that thought they can do better outside, but then they realized, like, hey, maybe I like the WWE a lot more than I thought it was. And it was just the people in charge. And then it's like, people talk.
Yes.
Before we get into the Trick Williams segment, people talk. Like, I would not be surprised, and we say this a lot, like, a lot of people in that segment, for example, going back to the Shawn Spears thing, my money was solidly bet on it being freaking Aleister Black to come back, or even it being Buddy, because I know those two.
Both of them.
I think one of them, if not now, sooner than later. It's fine if they come back because I feel like they understand the dynamics of WWE more than they understand the indies. But both of them left over what was going on with them creatively.
Yeah, I think they both come back Raw after Mania. I really do. I think they're done. I think they're done in AEW. I haven't seen them on anything. I think Brody's
because they're not being pushed. The only person that's being pushed from the House of Black
was Brody.
Was Brody, and now the only person that's also being pushed is Julia Hart.
Yeah, so I think they're coming back. Like, I think finally it's time for both them, everyone to take Buddy and Alistair very seriously. Both of their wives are there. Like they know what it is. They know what it is. For someone who came in again, another person connected to Cody. Who did Alistair Black debut against in AEW? Cody. Like, another person that I think Cody could be like, come on over, come back. Like, I got you here the first time. Come back this way.
You know what's crazy? I think personally,
what?
It's going to be one crazy Mania after. It's going to be one crazy, like, Raw and all that after Mania.
If there's one thing I have faith in Triple H to do is it's not even book WrestleMania well. It's to book the Raw after Mania well, because he's been a part of so many iconic Raw after Manias. Like, he knows how important that show is for the next, like, quarter of the year. Like, he knows how important that show is. You got to bring people back. I wouldn't be shocked if we got, because last year's was so bad, I wouldn't be shocked if we got multiple re-debuts to do it up. If it's Alistair and them, I don't know if their contracts are up. I wouldn't be shocked if we see like Mickey James come back, like just all these people that like got done wrong, did dirty, whatever, just come back.
That was like the worst. It really was the worst.
Yeah.
Raw after Mania
really
history.
Was.
And mind you, and I hate to be nostalgic, but as the girl who literally sat in a dusty ass Izon Center and had no voice after watching Dolph Ziggler cash in, after watching, even see, like, it was crazy to see CM Punk just like drop the mic and leave that night, because I was like, bitch, where you going? Like, you just had one of the best matches. You crying because you ain't beat no damn street. Dude, where the fuck you think you going?
So many things can be like just crazy that night.
Like Fandango, freaking like Fandango being the high of the night.
Cashing in could be like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
It was one of the best, and then it was like, damn, like, how do you top that? And then it literally didn't top that. It hasn't topped that since. So now they're gonna be fighting to top that. They've had so many surprises now. They've spoiled us. How do you top all that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think they have some stuff up their sleeve with debuts, re-debuts, people coming through. It really does depend on what the shakeout is. Does Cody retain? Does Seth retain? Like, what ends up happening from there? I wouldn't be shocked if like this is the time where Big E returns. Like, I think it would be the biggest, loudest thing ever if he returned Monday after WrestleMania. So.
Oh no, it's just have to wait and see. So it looks like we're getting Roxanne versus Lyra at Stand and Deliverr.
I love. Now do some heel shit.
I told her to go knock that candy off the damn table. She didn't even go do that. All she did was attack what's the name even more.
Go fuck Booker T up.
I told her to just snatch the mic.
I could see Damian Priest cashing in at Mania. I can see them losing them titles. Damian cashes in at Mania on Seth after Seth beats Drew. Drew's going to work that knee over. Damian comes in, hits some sort of maneuver on that leg, hits a Razor's Edge or South of Heaven, blah, 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 wins. I could see it.
I could see it too.
Then him and Finn feud, because that's going to be it. You know it, because Finn lost 4 times.
I feel like Priest been wanting to knock the block off of fucking Finn when he lost that match. When he lost that match at at SummerSlam, knowing it was all of them in the ringside. The way he looked at him, he was like, "You had one job, sir. Yep. You had one job. You had another job after the one job, and you didn't even do the one job right."
For real.
So, real quick, before the night ends, we gonna get into it, baby. There was the return of Trick James, bitch. He returned to NXT to address the crowd, address what people been saying about the boy. Gonna dive into it because this is gonna be my "How Did I Get Here" segments coming up on the Watch What Happens NXT Instagram channel. So like I said, if you're not following it, make sure you follow it. Okay. You literally had Trick Williams basically say that, listen, you brought me on. I get that. I was meant to be your wingman. But
you having all this shine and all this glory, it made me want that too. Cause like, you my boy, you inspire me. So I got inspired and I said, I want to come up like you. Like, you were the North American champion. I want to be the North American champion. Like, you were the like NXT champion. Like, my boy, I wanted it to be us. I wanted to be just as good as you. And you just couldn't want me. You just didn't want me to be great. You were a guy that you wanted me to be on top. You wanted us to be on top, but you didn't want me to be on top. That's what it was. That's literally what it was. So in my respect to Trick, for him to say, everybody warned me about you, but I stuck to my guns and I didn't listen to that gut feeling. And I said, nah, Trick ain't going to do that to me. I find it hard to believe. Like, it did the promo did what it was supposed to do. It ignited people. He did challenge his former friend to a match at Stand and Deliverr, which we are getting. Mm-hmm. And I think that it was obvious that needed to be done, and it's done. However, do you think that Metaphor interfering needed to be done?
No, I felt like that was so random, and like, what is this going to be a roadblock for 2 weeks until Mania, like until Stand and Deliverr? Like, what are y'all doing? If they're trying to do this to set up something with Trick afterwards, like this whole thing with Lash, the kiss, I'm like, okay, fine, I guess, but like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, Noam Dar is a loser to me anyway. Like, I'm just like, come on, not like that, not like that, not like that, not like that. But I just mean, like, what? Like, sorry, he's beneath Trick. I'm so sorry. I love Trick too much. He's beneath Trick to me. I want Trick to face someone else. I just don't get it. Maybe they'll like follow up on this tonight, but I'm just like, it made no sense given we know where we're going for Stand and Deliverr, unless this is going to be directly after Stand and Deliverr, unless this is directly what Trick is going into. But then again, why are we getting Trick and Mello for one match?
But here's the thing. I don't think it's done. I think what's going to happen is that this is not going to be done at Stand and Deliverr, in my opinion, because the draft doesn't happen. The draft waits a month and then it happens, but also NXT Battleground is right after.
Yeah,
that's Memorial Day weekend. I think if they can take it all the way down, I think if they have a little bit of feud on NXT for a little bit longer, it'll be worth it, because then it's like, you don't know, the history of Trick Mello Gang is too strong and too long for you to just give me one match. And I agree with you. I feel like the last thing, I was like, listen, they had beaten the rumors because people already thought they were going out. So for me, I was like, I told somebody, I was like, listen, I can't remember who I was talking to. I was like, yo, Patricia and Brian. I said to Patricia and Brian, I think that Lash and Trick make a cute couple, and I think they are a couple, because the leak was already on social media. So they gave us, like, I don't think they meant to give a soft launch, but they gave a soft launch. So it was but at the same time, I don't get into the personal business of what wrestlers do outside. Like, it's Love Island over there. Like, it was Love Island when other people were dating, so I'm not going to get into that. But for them to do this on TV, it was too obvious in the kiss that, listen, you so hot. Like, Lash was looking at him like, you so hot right now, I could just kiss you. And it happened.
Exactly. Unless this whole thing is for Lash to leave Metaphor.
Ooh.
That's the only reason why I see this being worth it. If Lash is leaving Metaphor and they like him and like Noam have for lack of better words, like Judy Bagwell on a pole match, like fight for the rights of Lash Legends, like they won't do it, but like I could see her leaving Metaphor over this. And
because like, even so, like, when I think about it, right, I don't think this would have been the caliber for them to leave. I thought like her having her moment in the deadline match would have been like her, I'm better than y'all, I'm cool than y'all, I'm smarter than y'all, I'm leaving y'all be. Because Ms. Jackson too, I think she's another person. She's cute for the aesthetic. I don't think she belongs in Metaphor. She was cute to be cute.
It's giving, now that they don't have the Heritage Cup, it's just giving what's their name? Top Dollar Asante, Hit Row. It's giving Hit Row. It's giving Hit Row. It's giving let's let this go. Moses, let my people go. Like, come on, let's split this up now. Y'all did what y'all need to do for that year. Y'all did it. It might have been longer. I can't even remember how long they were together, but they've been together for a while. Let's move on.
You said it's giving Hit Row.
It is. I love Hit Row. Don't get me wrong, but like it's time.
I did like Hit Row. I did like Hit Row
them.
NXT.
NXT Hit Row made me a fan. Shout out AJ Francis. But it's just like things just run their course naturally, and I feel like just like with Hit Row, they split up Asante and B-Fab. Now B-Fab with the Street Profits and Lashley, kinda, and then Asante doing his whatever, sitting and catering. I don't know what he doing currently in SmackDown. Nothing.
Well,
really.
him and Kurt, and Cedric trying to be a tag team.
So they're doing their thing. So it's just like, all right, let's split up Metaphor now. It's time. It's cool. Noam did his thing.
I'm just the only person I feel like is not useful, and I love him. I like him though as a talent by himself in Metaphor. Like, just be by himself. He need to be by himself. He needs to be alone.
Yeah,
he needs to be alone.
But I like B-Fab B-Fab, Lash and Trick together. I'm with it. Do it.
Cause look at this was
chocolate drops.
Listen, I was like, oh, finally,
that ain't a kiss. That's her baby daddy.
That's my man. And y'all think, listen, this was a message to all the girls, aka I'm the girls, that was sitting there pining over him, and she was like, listen, you my girl, but that's my man to death. Like, it was too obvious. Like, the way they even went in for the kiss, it was just like given. Like, if Bianca and Montez were to kiss in front of us before the show, we'd have been like, oh yeah, that's her husband. That ain't that. She's a whole wife. I'm sorry.
Like that. That's not a fake kiss. That's not.
No, it's not. So, because it was just like, damn, like they ain't beating them allegations, and they was like, all right, well, we ain't beating allegations. Like, even the way she went to kiss him, I'm like, you should have just let him plant the lips. But listen, the way he was looking, the way he was looking like the cover of the romance fantasy novels you used to see in the ShopRite in the book section next to the magazines, I'd have kissed him too, sis. So power to you. I love it.
We might get a match, Seindole versus Lash at Stand and Deliverr.
I'll get my ass beat. I'm going to look like Kelly during her debut match at the December to Dismember. That's how I'm going to look. I'm going to look like a frailing fish out of water. Just kick my ass. Just pin me onto the ground. Don't even torment me past 5 minutes. I don't. I'm going to look horrible. But in sense, a lot of people are for it because, no, Dylan, don't encourage that. A lot of people were for it because we've seen all these romances happen between like other races of couples, and they've even teased it at NXT a couple of times when it came to like, I remember when Elektra Lopez had something going on with another guy there, and I was just like, it gives that, I get it, but like we never had an African American like couple. I told you that's exactly what it's giving. He's giving Fabio.
It says that line.
It's that Avalon. It's that Avalon child. He got beefy too while he was gone. Like we noticed, sir. We noticed that you like that vein line on the side of your left arm wasn't popping like that. Yeah. It wasn't body like that. But all in all, I enjoyed this episode of NXT. The ratings, unfortunately, were actually down, which was interesting to me because I thought everybody would want to see the return of Trick Williams. But I still felt like, too, it was a long NXT with a lot of segments and people are used to the action.
Yeah, I feel like last week was for like forwarding the storylines, and I feel like this week's going to be more of the same. So like,
yeah,
we're going to get some matches, but I feel like it's mainly going to be storyline driven.
Right. Because right now you have No Credit Catch Crew, you have Charlie Dempsey, and it looks like they put Charlie Dempsey and Osborne up against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So I want to see where that goes. I dived into, if you're gonna watch Level Up, do watch it. The match with Soruko was really, really good. Like, Homegirl has not lost a step at all.
Okay.
And then she was up against Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair, I think, is pretty. She's still pretty like green as far as WWE goes, but she's really good to me. So do watch that. NXT Level Up. A lot of people were complaining that it's very like Raw recap-ish. They've stopped doing that because last week they gave us 3 straight matches without a recap because I think WrestleMania is so heavy they're not going to do that. So do watch Level Up on Peacock. It is really good. So before we sign off, Pablo, home slice. I always ask somebody who I think is up on NXT next. So you give me a person from this week. I will feature their picture here. Okay. Who do you think is next up at NXT?
I gotta go based on everything we talked about. I think if she do it right, hard. It's Roxanne. If she do it right,
you think so?
If she do it right, if Roxanne really puts everything to this character, really convinces us, I think this might be the thing that makes her career. If she can give us the Bayley moment, Bayley made her career by turning heel and really leaning into it and not faltering back even when people were not like adjusted to it. She did not fall back even when she got hurt. When she came back with Damage Control, she added a new like wrinkle to the character. I need Roxanne to commit and commit hard. Don't just come out here in fishnets and Doc Martens and think that's going to be it. Commit hard, change your move set if you got to. Like, lean so far into the heelness, and I swear this will make her. I swear. She'll be head and shoulders above people on main roster. I swear. I got to go Roxanne.
Me too. I feel like I said, I always tease her a little bit. That's on me. Because that's who I am. I try to be the mildest troll that the internet wrestling community already has. But I feel like she, in her promo, like I said this week, she told the truth. Like, mind you, she's had the best rookie career out of all those people in NXT. The best in 1 year. From the minute that her and Cora won their titles, up until she lost that, so she had the best rookie career there was today. Because after she even lost that belt, she won that Halloween Havoc. She won before the breakout thing happened. She won the breakout tournament. She won the first deadline in Independent Iron Survivor ever. She won off of that. Then she had a career-defining match against Mio Satomura. And it did get taken away from her. This promo felt like her, and that's what I needed from her. I'm waiting for her to make the shirt and wear it still. But as far as somebody I'm going to be paying attention to going and Stand and Deliverr, it's going to be Roxanne. So she's definitely next up.
Absolutely.
On the men's side, that's to be determined, child.
I ain't picking no man.
We stand on women business this month.
Yeah, I'm not
picking my girl Keeks.
Yeah,
my girl Keeks will say it was women business, but we stand on we were with the women this year. I'm especially here with her because this is she's just comedic gold. I'm gonna always be rooting for her. Yeah. Also, them. Yes, I didn't give my chance to give a lot of thoughts on them, but this is growing into something I feel like I'm going to enjoy.
If we're gonna of the big back community, yes.
Listen, Kiana James has my heart because this is built. Amen. I want her ab routine so bad, and this.
Yes, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for everybody black. Everybody black.
We're gonna go out there. Listen, we 18 ways away from Stand and Deliverr.
I know, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be in Philadelphia. The last time NXT was in Philadelphia for an NXT show was NXT TakeOver Philly. You had Bayley you had Bayley fighting against the grain against Nia Jax. You had nobody knowing if they could beat Asuka and Emma. You had so much going on. You had Samoa Joe try and prove that he's better than Finn Balor when Finn Balor was the NXT champion. It was such a good NXT takeover, and they took over the Wells Fargo. They sold out that Wells Fargo. They haven't seats are still available, and like I said, if you follow me on Watch What NXT, I might just have something for you. So, Pablo, you gotta come back, friend. You got
absolutely.
If you think we should have them on more often, leave it in the chat because this was great.
Down. I'm settled. I've moved. I'm ready to make it. So, anytime. I'm always here. I'm excited.
And we gotta get ready for Stand and Deliverr season.
We do. You made me really get back into NXT this last year. So I'm like,
thank you.
No, for real, because I was like, NXT. Tony D'Angelo kept me like I was keeping up with him, but you kept saying stuff about different people. I'm like, all right, I'm finna turn on. Seindole keeps saying that it's good. All right. Then I turned out, I was like, oh, she wasn't lying. This is.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's just like literally, and it ignites my spark because I like to be in tune with what's going on, and I feel like sometimes Raw and SmackDown could just drag. And then like I still silently, like, I'm the type of person, honestly, if I don't have anything nice to say about something and I want to just enjoy it, I don't talk about it at all. And AEW has been up and down so much. I'm still enjoying the brand. The last 2 collisions for me have really reminded me of why I like Collision.
Yeah.
I've always loved Ring of Honor because I root for Thea and her basically being the head baddie in charge.
Period.
No pun intended. So I'm still on those 2. But as far as getting me to always talk about it, no, because people tend to ruin it, and I'm enjoying myself, and I want to keep enjoying myself. If you want to listen to more AEW content, I'm very much to shout out on Women's History Month. No, very much get into it with Keeks Ali. She's one of the 2 people that I watch that's in the AEW space that actually helps me explain AEW. So when seeing her do that, I want to do that for people NXT. She's had me on her show. Shout out to her. She's with the Public Enemy podcast. But yeah, that's the type of person I am. I feel like if I'm really passionate about something, I'm gonna keep talking about it. Like NXT, you don't understand, it's on fire. Like we are working on a mission to get me back to Florida so I can go.
Oh, I got you.
Y'all might just see me on TV.
Anytime you want to go, that's my home. I got you.
Really?
Yeah, I used to go all the time when I was younger too. Like
me and Bonnet. I'm sorry, Scarf and Bonnet want to pull up. So that's the mission.
Oh, we gotta go. I'm totally down.
We gotta go.
Exactly how to get there. I know exactly where they be at. I was there the day the PC opened.
Yo.
Yeah.
I just literally dying. But I want to thank you for tapping in with me. Gonna get you back watching NXT. This match looks fire because I'm watching it, even though I'm supposed to be doing my show. Pablo, you want to tell everybody where they can find you and what's been going on in your world? I'm giving you the floor.
No, I've been on a break. I just moved. Most people know this. I just moved to be closer to my friends, my girlfriend, things like that.
Congratulations.
So I'm finally settled. So you can follow me on Instagram at Pablo T Don, Pablo the letter T and then Don. And then you can follow me on TikTok at Pablo the Don, all one word. Those are the only places you can find me. I'm nowhere else. I don't believe in being on Twitter. Sorry. The IWC over there just be killing me too much. So I'm not on Twitter. But you can follow me on those 2 places. I am trying to work my way into being at WrestleMania as long as I possibly can, but I know I'll probably more than likely be at least Wale Mania and Stand and Deliverr. So yeah, I'll see y'all out there. Seindole, as always, thanks for having me on. You know, as the CM Punk Defenders Club, we must always stick together.
Hey. We're gonna get them shirts customized and made.
Oh, we're getting. I'm getting my tattoo. I'm getting my tattoo.
Listen. I just found a tattoo artist by me, but I think I want to probably get it done in Philly because I always talk about getting tattoos in WrestleMania locations. Yeah. I'm getting the Pepsi tattoo. I'm sorry. Really? It might be on the back of the ear, somewhere where my mom and dad won't like banish me from families from Sunday dinner, but it's happening. And in case you missed the NXT, Nathan Frazier and Axiom just literally qualified for the tag team. Hey. That's gonna be a banger now. Yeah, that's gonna be some heat.
That's gonna be real good. But yeah,
I can't wait to talk about this match.
Thank you for having me. Any other time you want me to come on, just hit me up. You already know I'm in there. I'm here. I'll be there. But yeah, this was so much fun. And now I'm about to cook dinner and watch NXT.
That's right. So I want to thank everybody for hanging in the chat. We had a lot of numbers. Anybody who was on X, Twitch, YouTube, if you are on any of those platforms, thank you for tuning in with us. As always, is your honorary wrestling girl, Seindole B. If you didn't catch me tonight, please catch a recap of Watch What Happens NXT on my YouTube channel and the replay here on all the streaming platforms you saw it on, except for Twitter. Can't wait for Stand and Deliverr. Like I said, make sure you follow and Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. You can also find me on at reload.relive, at reload via film on all my social media platforms, on X, especially if you're watching from X.
Just stay tuned because listen, we getting ready. Philly's just around the corner. Thank everybody for coming through to the chat, the loyals, everybody. Let's see. Sean Spears, the return of him, the madman. Or we can, you know what? Let's have the Fufu Kofi, that what's the name called Fufu Guta, take us out. So take us out with that chat, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Peace out.
The first NIL aspiring to be an NXT champion, which is the NXT North American Championship. He was the first breakout tournament star from the NIL to win the breakout tournament. And a lot of people thought he was definitely going to wait in the cups for the NXT champion. But listen, greatness waits for no one. When an open opportunity comes, it comes. If Lexus King could sit here and go on WordPad and create that dumbass contract, because who the hell put him in the number one contendership fight in the first place?
Not even Microsoft Word.
He tried it. Notepad. He tried it. Like, how you going to try and do that? Yeah. And it's like, it's just a part of him being a menace. But what I liked, right, was that Obafemi was trying to make himself known. And Lexus came out, blame you. You should have never cut the man off. Because now